answers. So it's don't ask, don't tell in the media. Don't ask, don't tell is gone in the military.
No, they lie by omission, yeah.
Yeah, I find that rather ironic. But at any rate, I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what. So I started digging into it and started realizing bloodlines and things like that, which I know, okay, Holy Grail and this and that and blah, 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 and this is all a bunch of bull crap. No.
No, they're really into all that. They're obsessed with breeding. I mean, that's why every president in the last 100 years has been totally related, and they're all related to the royalty of England, and they only interbreed with each other, and it's a psychopathic, control freak, unfeeling, psychopaths run it, then under them is an army of sociopaths and sadists. And those of us that are good people and have love, we need to wake up and start really realizing what we're facing and stop being blind.
But it's not the English. The English came later. It actually came from the Merovingians.
No, I know it goes back all the way, yeah.
Yeah. It goes back a ways.
Well, Al, give us your view then. You've got the floor. Your view of who runs the New World Order, 9/11, everything. I mean, spill the guts here.
Well, the bloodline. But, like, if you look at 9/11, it's no different than Pearl Harbor. Roosevelt had 3 days advance. He was trying to find a way to get us into World War II because we were isolationists. We didn't really care. We didn't see how it mattered to us because it wasn't a global economy back then. And so he allowed it to happen. He sacrificed our people in order, ends to a means type of thing, or means to an end. And the same thing with 9/11 and Bush. It's a means to an end. Like Obama, the reason that he's involved in this bloodline is what is he, sixth cousin of Cheney through his mom's side or something?
Yes.
He's got some bloodline, so he's allowed to rule. They're not happy about it, but he's allowed to rule. Allowed. And that's a big word, allowed, because what does that mean? That means that somebody else is calling the shots and they're allowing somebody to be president, the supposed most, important person in the world. So, what we have here is, I go back to, like, Zachariah Sitchin and Graham Hancock, and I go back to, even Von Doniken, okay? I mean, that's what got me hooked on
Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah. I mean, amongst other books. But that's what got me hooked on this stuff. Then I started reading more stuff on it. Graham Hancock is another great person as far as, like, alien bloodlines. And we can't release that because religions, as we know, would go down, and that's not profitable.
You notice now they're having to admit, there's these Neanderthal, and we've done the DNA, and it turns out Northern Europeans are the highest concentration of Neanderthal, and, the genetic DNA is different. And then now you find out for 20 years or longer, they've made thousands and thousands of cross-human animal clones, but keep the details secret. I mean, we're not in Kansas anymore, and what you're saying, Al, to put words in your mouth, correct me if I'm wrong, we've never been in Kansas.
No, we've never been in Kansas, and we've never been a human race. We're a human race only through DNA altering by species different than us. And the species that are different than us were the Anunnaki. I'm a big 12th planet theory, which is why my label is called 13th planet, which is like, if that's 12th planet, I've even got weirder ideas, so I'm 13th planet. And the called 12th planet is they saw the 8 visible planets. They didn't see Pluto, but they saw the moons of our moon and then 3 gas giant moons, which made it 12 planets through the first telescope. So that's why it's 12th planet. And
now we know there's hundreds of Pluto-sized objects out in the Kuiper Belt now. So there is all sorts of... Yeah.
Exactly. And I think the government knows one of them's going to hit us soon. Because, you see... Hollywood sometimes is just complete crap, i.e. Smurf movie or whatever. But sometimes they get it right. Like, I worked with Steven Spielberg, who did Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I worked with him on AI, artificial intelligence. Although I used to have a joke with him. I told him, like, the band didn't want to do the film because we thought AI stood for Anal Intruder, and it was a porno film. But anyways...
Oh, man.
He got a joke out of that. He actually, like, he would come up with a new AI every day, like Alan.
Okay. But this is a family show. Al, going back here, tell. I forgot you worked on AI. How was ministry involved in that?
Well, it's funny. We got a call from Stanley Kubrick at my house, and he's like, he really wants us to be the band in the Flesh Fair, and he really wants us to write the music to the film. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I hung up. I thought it was a prank call. And they called back, and they're like, no, blah, 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 blah. And here's Mr. Kubrick, and I talked to Stanley Kubrick before he died. And he was like, no, you're the perfect embodiment of the film that I want to make. And then he died, and then Spielberg took it over and put that damn teddy bear in, with the kid, because he liked that E.T. and the children saving the day thing, and the teddy bear. And that teddy bear was a mess, man. That thing would, like, go down, like, every 10 minutes. It'd be like, the bear's down. Everyone take 10. The bear's down. And so we'd be, like, back there, sloughing beers, waiting for the bear to come back up. Like, I know Stan Winston just died, rest in peace, but, the creator of the teddy bear and many other special effects, icons that we have in our lexicon. But I was really pissed. I didn't get along with Stan Winston because of that bear. And
what did you think of
nightmare.
Stanley Kubrick's mysterious death? He refused to cut 27 minutes out of Eyes Wide Shut, stuff the elite did not want seen, because, of course, as we know that...
He knew Eyes Wide sucked. He knew it sucked. And this treatment that I got, I still have, the treatment of the original, was much more about the intricacies of Jude Law in the new city being a male prostitute, and that was half the movie, and Spielberg took it and made it like half teddy bear and this Donny Osmond, Joel Haley something or whatever kid, which is a good kid, by the way. He's a big Ministry fan. But at any rate, he made it all about teddy bears and kids when Kubrick's message was really profound.
No, I understand that. He took it and turned it into a Spielberg plastic thing. But going back to Eyes Wide Shut...
But wait. Spielberg's a good guy. I mean, I actually like him, and he's so pro.
Well, he's certainly talented, yeah.
I'm not just saying this for job security. I really... He taught me more about filmmaking than I'd had in, 20 years of, trying to do it on my own. Within, 2 hours, I already knew more about filmmaking with him. I mean, the guy's talented. It's just that that teddy bear drove me nuts.
I understand, and then the teddy bear is now in the ash heap of history. But what about Stanley Kubrick? That's who I'm really interested in. That's one of my favorite director. What a mind, and obviously on the inside track. Everything, he ever produced was basically archetypal for real stuff he believed that was going on. The whole obelisk, 2001 Space Odyssey, it goes on and on. High up with the Illuminist, and the M.O. is he wouldn't cut 27 minutes out of Eyes Wide Shut that dealt with the elite, and that then he had the heart attack.
He knew that was a mistake. He knew, first of all, getting a Scientologist to play the lead role was a mistake. I mean, he knew that was a mistake. That's why he wanted to really come back with AI, and the treatment that I got was, just mind-blowing. And then I dealt with Spielberg. It's a really funny story, actually. When we first met Spielberg, they lined us up like meeting the Queen, the whole band, right? He'd ignored us for 3 days, just casting us really weird glances, like these guys in all this costume and stuff. And he'd never worked with anyone but John Williams for his sound scores. And so he didn't know what to make of us. He doesn't listen to rock. He listens to classical. His biggest foray into rock is U2. He thinks U2 is okay. All right, so he comes to meet us, and we all have to have our head bowed like the Queen. I was at the end of the line, and the rest of the band shook his hand and all this stuff.
Did you curtsy?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. This is true. And so the rest of the band, nodded their head and shook his hand, and I was at the end in full costume. And I went Steven, baby, this band's going to walk today. We're not doing this because we were told by Kubrick that AI was called Anal Intruder.
Okay.
And it was a porn film, and we just can't do this film. And his handler that was sitting next to him taking notes as he's going through shaking hands, Spielberg goes walking off, and his handler goes running, going, wait, there's a mistake, Mr. Spielberg. Oh, my God. And then I had to run with him in this 50 pounds of, like, makeup and, like, gear that they had me wearing and just go, wait, I was just kidding. You know? And he finally came back, and then me and him got to be friends. So I'm never just a word about Steven Spielberg, except for the fact that I know what the original treatment was for that movie, and
yes,
and wow, that movie would have been a statement, and the rest of it was like a really bad E.T. And I told Spielberg that to his face, so it's not like, you know, I'm like, oh my God, spilling the beans.
No, I understand. Al Jourgensen. Now back to Stanley Kubrick. What do you think of films like Eyes Wide Shut, and the fact that at Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, the people that are claiming they're big Christian conservatives, speaking of gay sex, are engaged in that and all sorts of Satanism?
Let's go to Bohemian Grove. I'm into that. That's just like, well, listen, the whole Republican Party is based on hypocrisy, all right? I'm sorry. It is. It's based on hypocrisy. First of all, they're pro-life, okay? Yeah, they're the ones that procure wars that end life and kill countless civilians. But they're pro-life. They're more worried about the fetus at inception than they are about a full-grown adult with a wife and kids. They want to cut veteran benefits. They want to cut everything, yet they want to start wars. So they're not pro-life, okay? So that's just BS right from the start. I mean, they're hypocrisy waiting to happen, the Republican Party. And I'm not a Democrat either, because, listen, 99% of all are owned by their corporate overlords.
All right, Al, stay there. Al Jourgensen, we got to go to break. You're going to do 2 more segments with us, and we got Bob Chapman coming up, and hopefully we can have him back up again sometime to take your calls. Or maybe we'll take a few right now. 800-259-9231. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We'll be back on the other side. All right, we are back live, and truly an iconic industrial metal band. Really spurred so much of the music that we see today. Really changed the world in a big way. I mean, art is powerful.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I hate this new crap.
Al Jourgensen is our guest in true rock and roll form. Al, we were talking during the break, and you heard me tell the guys to come in with the song from one of your last albums, Rio Grande Blood, and you said, boy, 9/11 really gets me. I mean, isn't 9/11 more than just Pearl Harbor, where they knew it was going to happen and had broken the codes and let it happen? I mean, 9/11, when you really look at it, hijackers trained at U.S. bases, NORAD stand-down, passports that magically survive. I mean, what did you think the day of 9/11, Al?
Well, I remember I was living in Austin at the time, and I remember waking up to, like, some disturbing news, and I watched the visual, and I thought, did I change the channel while I was asleep? Because this is the Saturday Night Live spoof. I couldn't believe it, okay? And then I started digging into that and realizing that it's the same overlords that I've been talking about with our mouthpiece president that resurrected something to what you said, a 30-year plan to destroy the markets and then resurrect them or whatever. And, yeah, I mean, it all made sense right away. It took me about 10 minutes to realize it wasn't a Saturday Night Live spoof. And no offense to the victims of that, because I certainly in no way demean their pain and loss. But just, you can understand where I'm coming from. I thought it was a joke. Are you kidding me? And then realizing where it's coming from. Okay, Bush is the mouthpiece, Cheney's the puppet master, and then there's the overlords. So it kind of started to make sense to me to rebuild. The economy got up to 14,000 on the Dow during Bush, all right? Working on our credit card, okay, which is now in debate, which the Republicans were so happy to vote for while Bush was in office. 14,000 on the Dow. Now, by the time we're done, by the end of this week, we'll be down below 11. Okay? you know, and this is all part to make Obama look bad. It's going to backfire on the